Hey everybody, Tom Bullington here, Keller Williams Realty, and it's Saturday, February 8th, 2020. Hope all of you are staying warm. It's a balmy 15 degrees here in the South Metro, Minneapolis, St. Paul today. So a bit nippy out there. And apparently tomorrow we're going to be having a winter storm watch warning. Depends on where you live, I guess, but maybe anywhere from 2 to 8 inches of snow. So we'll see what happens there. Wanted to touch base today about signage. And like any business, when you are selling a house or selling a cheeseburger or selling lawnmowers or anything else that you might be selling, you need to have good signage that's out in the public, as well as a presence online and all of that. But definitely good signage is something that's critically important. I was just out here this afternoon going around to a number of open houses for some of my buyer clients and looking at the signage that was or was actually not out there in trying to find some of these addresses for the open houses was kind of challenging. Luckily, we have GPS today where we know where the actual address is and we can find it. In the old days, we had these things called maps that you would actually unfold and you turn pages and things like that. But today we have GPS and we have our phones and all that. We have Garmin and all sorts of companies that make these onboard maps, and then also with our new, sound like an old guy here, our newfangled gizmos that we have incorporated into our dashboards now on new cars. You can find addresses if you're looking for them. If only I had had this when I was delivering pizzas 30 years ago for Godfather's Pizza, it would have been a lot easier. But alas. So when you are doing an open house, though, the object of the open house is to try to get as many people into your home as possible that might actually be interested in purchasing the home. And of course, we've done other videos on here about the likelihood that someone who comes to your open house is actually going to buy it, relatively small. But there are occasionally folks who are coming to your open house who see it, who like it, and voila, they make an offer on it, whether that's individually with you directly as a for sale by owner, but in most cases they actually have an agent that they are working with, and the transaction takes place after that. So it is very important to have accurate signage, especially on Saturdays and Sundays during the upcoming parade of homes. There's going to be a lot of open house signs out there. And with all the signage that's coming up with the political campaigns and things like this, you want to make sure your signage stands out and directs people to your home, to your open house, especially as we get into the spring where there's going to be multiple open houses in neighborhoods. Just going to be crazy. So typically when I do an open house for a client, we have 8 to 10, sometimes even more signs, depending on the neighborhood, depending on the layout of the streets around your residence, but typically about 8 to 10 open house signs that we put out to direct people to your home. So if you are out there and you have one sign in your front yard that says open house from 2 to 4 on Saturday and it's written in pencil, not going to really be very effective. If you are getting into the 2 or 3, maybe you're going to grab a few people. The object is, and I've done a number of open houses, I've done so many open houses I've lost count, but the object is, if people are around and they're looking, especially in the parade of homes time frame that's coming up here, and then also with the spring, if people are just kind of driving around, hey, let's go look at houses, let's go look at open houses. If you're in that situation, you want to make sure that people can find you easily, even if they're not online, even if they don't have your open house programmed into their phone. You want to make sure that you stand out as much as possible to get people into your home, to look around, and hopefully make an offer on it. So get some signs. If you are selling your home by yourself as a for sale by owner, get a bunch of signs. Make sure that you have your address on the signs. And what I would do is actually have enough directional signage to, we call it tagging the neighborhood. So between 8 to 10 signs out there to get people to be able to find your residence. If you don't have at least 5 or 6 out there, you're leaving money on the table. You're going to miss some people who are out there looking for open houses. So just some helpful advice, whether or not you're using an agent or not. If you are using an agent to help sell your house, great. I recommend it. He or she should know that you're going to need about 8 to 10 signs. If they are not using enough signs for your open house, ask them, hey, Bob, hey, Susan, why don't you have more signs out? They should be able to answer that question for you. If they are a good realtor, they should be able to put a number of signs out and direct people to your open house. They should also be keeping track of who comes into your home to make sure that you have adequate return on investment in your time and in your money that you're putting into an open house. So some things to ask your realtors as well if you are using a realtor. If you have any more questions, please feel free to give me a call, 651-402-6356. Again, it's Tom Bullington, Keller Williams. BuySouthMetro.com is my website. Hope all of you are having a great weekend, and we will talk soon. Bye.